Welcome back to Rada, my name is Beast, and today we're back with more Mounted Wings Flight Diary. For the uninitiated, by the time this has gone up, it'll be New Year's already, so I hope y'all had a nice New Year. Like, for me, I'll potentially still be recording as you hear me talking about this, since I'll basically not get to start recording tomorrow until like probably 1 AM because of family shenanigans. So yeah, there's a high possibility that by the time you're seeing this right now, I'm still recording. So that's fun, isn't it? Anyways, let's just get into this. Much better, thanks to Hotaru here. Also need to turn down my headset a bit. Oh, also, very quick grinding update. I am now at level 34. Mainly because I encountered another one at the Magatama that give you a gospel, but I was like halfway to the next level up already. So I just like grinded, got to level 33, and then used the gospel, immediate level 34. That's great. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I actually recently had a discussion with someone about Genshin because I stopped Genshin due to the grind being a fucking annoyance. One of the things was like, if you want to, want to make your game have grinding, then make the grind itself fun. Genshin did not do that. I'm not going to continue this conversation now, since last night I was kept awake until 5 AM due to this argument. It was not nice. Anyways. What now? What? Giving me the creeps. That smug look on her face. It's not completely healed yet, so I want to avoid putting stress on it. Should probably stick to walking and some light stretching.
しっかり見てなさいよ。葵が無茶しないように、葵に無茶させないように。頑張る。その息その息。
Shortly after we made our way to school, as usual, we were all in a big group. There weren't any outward signs that I was Hotaru's boyfriend now. Maybe they were. Maybe that walked on ahead of us, or purposely hung back. I looked around for Kotori and the Kazutos at every corner we turned, but they were nowhere to be seen. It was just me and Hotaru. I know it is an accident, right? Probably, yeah. Nothing to do, right? Just keep heading to school. What do you want to kiss? We are together now, after all. I'd only meant this as a joke. Maybe we shouldn't. What's wrong? Changed your mind? Hotaru closed her eyes and angled her face upward. But we're really doing this, huh? This wasn't a joke anymore. Looked around, the streets were clear. No one else was around. The streets felt desolate without our usual entourage. Not only that, but we'd strayed into quiet side streets, hidden from the main road. All things considered, I guess it couldn't do any harm. Hotaru?
はい。
Are you sure it's okay?
どこまで？
Oh man, Hotaru, don't look at me like that! Those puppy dog eyes brought up memories of last night. The sensation of Hotaru nestling in my arms came back to me. That heat, that soft skin. Gulp. Well, I imagine... Hold on. All I can imagine is just her, like, doing her best to, like, tiptoe up towards him. Hotaru let out a little moan as if to spur me on. This kind of thing was perfectly acceptable in other countries. Tried to tell myself that while I stared at Hotaru's lips coming closer and closer. We're outside, exposed, anyone might see us. If someone did show up right now, we'd have to jump apart and try to act like we hadn't been doing anything. But nobody came. No one, not a single passing pedestrian. It was like someone had put up a no entry sign at one of the streets and discouraging anyone from getting close. But maybe a hat would suddenly appear at my feet, just like he'd always do. Nope, no one here. And I was sure of it. I lowered my head towards Hotaru's like a glider coming in for a landing. It wasn't that I didn't want to. Of course I wanted to kiss my girlfriend any chance I got. It's just that PDA went ever so slightly against the values I'd been raised with. That said, I had a renewed respect for more emotionally honest couples who could do stuff like this without a second thought. We'd come this far and there was no going back. My body felt heavy, like it was made of stone. Hotaru was standing rock still too, her face going a deep shade of red. My heart was hammering at the inside of my rib cage. I was pretty sure I could hear Hotaru's too. Hotaru?
青に。
My breathing started to synchronize as our lips softly touched.
おう、葵にホタル。
And BAM! We were standing apart again! Wasn't too cool! Thanks, man!
おう。
ありがとう。
ん
As thanks, let me tell you the latest news. You see, Hotaru and
正
I...
式に付き合うことになりましたか
Oh, how did you
さ
know?
っきアゲハから。あんちゃんも知ってるぜ。
How could
で
she?
もそっか。ついにそうなったか。ホタルもやっと気持ち届いたか。
Whoops.
ありがとう。
葵もこれで安心できるだろ。あれ知らないの？それやばくね？ホタル結構モテてるんだぜ。葵とくっついたって知ったらみんながっくりくるぜ。な、その瞬間見せてくれよ。
No way! We're not some kind of sideshow!
へいへい、マジギレごちそうさま。というわけで次は俺の番。協力頼みます。お前らのそのラブパワーを分けてくれ。
What are you even talking about?
あかりさーん。
Surprisingly, his girlfriend didn't appear out of
ひどい
nowhere. You're on your own. This probably just means she trusts you enough to let you run around on your own.
慰めになってないよそれ。
頑張れ。
おう、頑張るぜ。
He only ever thinks of himself. Once Mazuga was gone, Hotaru took my hand again. The warmth of her hand reminded me of just how close we'd been a moment ago. Somehow we got to school without further incident. Maybe it was the rose-tinted feelings of this new relationship, but I felt like I was seeing the place for the first time. Okay, I'll see you later.
うん。
Hotaru looked forlorn somehow. Alright, we said we wanted to be together as much as possible. Hey, don't worry, I'll still be here, and we can be together all we want at home. Bye for now.
ね、青に。
I climbed the stairs to my classroom, looking back at it again and again. I waved goodbye to Hotaru just before she walked out of sight. That was my girlfriend. We were lovers now, together, an item, boyfriend and girlfriend. Hotaru wouldn't mind me talking about it a little, right? I mean, this was a big milestone. I could talk about how great my girlfriend was, just like those other guys. No, wait, I should try to be a little restrained. I didn't want to worry Hotaru. She was so shy, she probably wouldn't appreciate any extra attention. It's a case of answer honestly if
でさ
asked.
葵ったらホタルに向かって好きだ、愛してるって。 It's a case of answer honestly if asked, but don't go out of your way to tell. When it comes to like people you aren't very close with that don't like interact with you daily. Like I would tell my closest friends if I've entered a relationship. And they also know my partner. Because if it's literally just a case of, hey, we're the bros, but I have no idea who this is. It's just like, tell them about it if it's like a funny story. Like a friend of mine who like a Mexican class, like a Spanish classmate, invited to like a little bit of like a Spanish Mexicans get together party, and he was basically there. And next day he woke up like fucking he had hungover as fuck, and he now suddenly had a Mexican girlfriend. And that he told me, because that's just a funny story. Like he gets along with her. That's great for him. Like that. Kudos to him, and since she only speaks very broken German, he's also been improving his English because of that. That's nice for him. That's great. Congratulations on it. Like, that's a situation where you tell him. You tell him. It's just a funny story. But otherwise, it's a case of, hey, someone asks, like, hey, you and her, like, together? Yeah. Like, no situation is fine. Quiet you! So much for keeping things quiet. まったく、イチャつくのもほどほどにしてほしいわ。
How could they lie with such straight
よ
faces?
う、遅かったね。私たちの気遣いを堪能してくれたようで何より。
Now let's get something straight. Before I could take Agia to task, I was swamped by a crowd of classmates, all patting me on the back and offering congratulations. Nice going, you dog, you! My money wasn't Kotri or Agia! You really surprised us, man! Everyone's comments just washed over me. For a co-ed class, they were all acting like a bunch of rough and ready bros. What the heck? The door opened with a clatter and a group of upperclassmen to complain about me stealing the... Came in to complain about me stealing the school idol. They had some underclassmen with them too, who tearfully declared that they'd never relinquish Hotaru to me. Wow, Masa hadn't been kidding about her being popular.
頑張れ、未来の弟。
Things are moving pretty fast.
ちなみにお母さんは大喜びよ。葵くんが息子になるなら嬉しいわ。ホタルをよろしくね。だって。
As I should go say hi to her at some point.
そのくらい分かってて選んだんでしょ。男見せな。
Like, I guess I should say hi to her at some point. Like, you see? That there is why you're the right choice. My God, you're a good guy. All I can think about right now is suffering through a White Album 2 right now. He's not having the same kind of luck here. Got it, sister-in-law. He's just in the back like, eh. Consider this payback!
Wasn't much, but I'd take any victory over Agahai I could get. Right. Hotaru looked exhausted. I probably wasn't any different. How was your day? Well, it's over now. You did great. It was tough on me, too. Everyone had been teasing me one way or another. I guess that was the price I'd have to pay for my happiness. Just tough it out for another few days. And if I were in my classmates' positions, I'd want to mess with the lucky couple a little bit. I knew they didn't mean anything by it. It was just a little bit of fun. What do you want to do today? My leg had been almost completely healed. I wasn't thinking of checking in with the club after school. What did it look like she was chewing on something over? Are you okay? Right. Should have thought of that. Hotaru and Naga weren't officially dorm members. Rested my hand on her head. I feel the same way. But you have your family to think of. I'd love to keep you all to myself, but your mom, dad, and Naga deserve to see you as well. Take that as a sign, she understood. I ran my fingers through her silky hair, giving Hotaru what I hoped was a comforting head pat. I see you later then. Hotaru set off for home ahead of me. Back at the dorm, I got her stuff together to take back to her house. I'd probably see her around all the time, just like Agaya. I was free to go visit her at home, too. Oh, I feel like I haven't been here in a while. Sorry, my leg's better all the time. My leg's getting better all the time, so I should be fine with the flight this weekend. It was good to be talking about flight-related stuff again. If only I could fly with Hotaru. The thought had crossed my mind, I'll admit. Agya stepped outside and stretched in the sunlight. I did the same. I'd made the most of the afternoon and was feeling really good about it. I looked around. Wasn't sure if she'd come. That's a scary thought. I guess I got nothing on you. Am I good enough for her then? I'm back. Oh? Oh no, she's going to become the commuter wife as well now. Oh no, it's spreading. That's not really the issue. That was like a dart right through my heart. Okay, fine. What else could I say? Using the ingredients Hotaru brought over, we put together a great meal in no time. This was the life. Actually, this was my job. I should probably take it more seriously. Yeah, having you here made things a lot easier. You Don't have to do that. I kind of am responsible for this
青
place.
兄の役に立ちたいの。本当ならずっと一緒にいたいけど、学年違うし、迷惑になるし。
I don't know why, but her eyes just look hella derpy right now.
何？
Sorry, I was thinking you looked really cute just now. Right now. Put my hand on her head, then moved it to her shoulder and pulled her in close. Thanks for your help. Just one thing. I'd be happier if you could be a little more honest about what you want.
ずうずうしく？
Yeah, like if you want me to hold you like this some more, just say so. Or if you want to be together more, it's cool too. I sure want to. It's a little embarrassing to say it out loud, but I wish we could be together like this forever.
私もしてたい。
I know you have to go home now and again. I really am grateful for your help around the dorm. I want to take every chance I can get to spend more time with you. Hotaru buried her face in my chest, squirming with glee.
ああ、おほん。
We didn't exactly jerk away from each other, but both our faces went red in the blink of an eye. Of all the times Frog had to barge in.
いい感じのとこ悪いけど、そろそろ帰るよ、ホタル。はい。
I walked him home. The unfamiliar streets could be dangerous at night, and the excuse to stay with Hotaru a little longer. She kept glancing at me, but clearly felt a little awkward with Agaya here too. I didn't say anything, just held her hand.
気にされるとこっちが困るんだけどな。自信持ちな。葵が選んだのはあんたなんだからさ。見せつけるくらいでいいの。あんたの場合はね。
I squeezed Hotaru's hand a little tighter. We carried on walking and talking, and before we knew it, our journey was over. We'd arrived at the Himigi house. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
明日。
To walk home was a good chance to get some exercise and take some time to remember the warmth of Hotaru's hand in mine. A while later, I got a phone call from Agaya.
今いい？
Sure, what's up?
いやー、どうするのかなって。
This is about Hotaru.
うん。
What do you mean what we're gonna do? Hotaru and I both feel the same about each other,
そ
so...
うじゃなくてさ、ホタルがうちの部に入りたいって言い出したらどうするの？
I thought about it a
何
little.
もやってないし、スワリング部ならうちの手伝いもそんなに邪魔にならないし。
That's true, but it would be a little
そ
awkward.
こんとこ小鳥と話してたんだ。
Wow, that was quick.
結論は OK。葵が変にベタベタして空気悪くすることはないだろうし、ホタルもそういうことはしなさそうだしね。というか、やったら私が締める。
Go easy on her, okay? I smirked, but this did bear thinking about. I knew that Hotaru joining the soaring club had always been a possibility. She wasn't a member of any clubs after all. We had asked her if she was interested back when we started recruiting. She declined back then, but now that Agaya had her blessing, she might feel different. There was no reason for her to hold back anymore. Hadn't I told her to be more honest about her desires just this evening? Hey, I'm sorry. It means a lot to me that you thought all this through.
なーに、可愛い妹のためだもの。本当にそうするかどうかはまだわかんないけどね。
I think she's got a good idea of how much work I have to do around the dorm in the day.
だったらありがたいでしょ。
Yeah, I think so
泊ま
too.
り込みは許さないからね。もうあんたの足も悪くないんだし。
Yeah, of course.
ホタルに変なこと教えんじゃないわよ。具体的にはシードライブのプランってつけたフォルダ内の。
What? How did you know I hid my secret files?
更新日時がポイントよ。
Stay out of my private business! She found his porn. Oh no. It was maybe a week after Hotaru and I got together.
おはよう、青に。
Hotaru met me at the dorm first thing so we could walk to school together. Two of us didn't talk a lot. It wasn't, but it was a comfortable kind of silence that really enhanced my morning. I reached her for Hotaru's hand, fingers intertwined with mine. Both smiled. It was one of our simple pleasures. But as always, we had to part when we actually got to school. I'll see you later. Are you okay?
今日も部活なんだよね。
Yeah, we had to call it off last week because of the weather, but it looks like we'll be able to fly this weekend. It's been so long, I can't wait to get up there. But we've got a lot to get ready first. What's wrong?
ね。
Yeah?
後で。
Fast forward to the end of classes that day.
青に考えたの。考えて前に言ってくれたことやってみようって。
Oh my. I know what she means.
私スワリング部に入りたい。青兄と一緒にいたいし、それだけじゃなくて青兄が見てるものを一緒に見たいの。
I see. I don't look so worried. Put a hand on her head. How about we go now? Looks like we got ourselves a new member!
やっと来た。よろしくね。よろしくお願いします。どうも。
Wait, hold on. Why look after the place while we're gone? Huh?
よろしくお願いします。
Well, you've been here enough times before, so I probably don't need to explain things to you.
頑張ります。
First, you've got to learn about what's involved in a flight. I mean, we need more members to get their pilot licenses before I graduate. You also need to know about how a glider's constructed, how it works, how to fix it if it gets damaged. All this is going to take money, so you might want to think about getting a part-time job to earn some extra cash. All in all, it's a lot of work.
あーちゃん見てたから分かってる。みんなの前じゃそうと見せないけど、家じゃグライダーのことばっかり。余計なこと言わない。
Agia launched a sneak attack on her sister from behind.
そういうこと言ってると、あんたが葵の名前呼んでうっとりしてるってのバラしちゃうよ。
Hey, calm down! Plus, you kinda let it out of the bag already. Oh, she's back.
あれ？あーちゃん？いつ来たの？
Selective memory loss, huh?
ここじゃ先輩後輩だから、姫木先輩ね。先輩と呼びなさい。あーちゃん先輩。まあ、今は許してあげよう、新入部員。
Fine, whatever.
よろしくお願いします。人数増えると心強いよ。頑張ろうね。
Welcome aboard. Hotaru gave me one of the brightest smiles I'd ever seen. This was a rare sight. Before we knew it, Aga and I were also smiling. Hotaru had joined the club, not any invitation from us, but of her own will. It was inspiring to see how much she'd grown. Tomorrow's gonna be a dangerous day. For my liver, that is. Okay, where do you think we should start?
ホタル、あんた確か映像系の授業を受けてるよね。あ、うん。じゃなくて、はい、先輩。へえ、それなら、編集はできる？動画とか、ポスター用の画像加工とか、そういうの。編集ですか？
Mean for the stuff we recorded before.
来年の部員勧誘用のあれよ。素材は一通り揃ったから編集したいんだけど。せっかくだし、外からの視点で見られるホタルちゃんに基本的なところを作ってもらうっていうのどうかしら。
It's a lot to put on a new member right off the bat, isn't it?
無理にとは言ってないわよ。みんなでやるのでも別に構わない。というか、本来ならそうするべきだし。
What do you think, Hotaru? Hotaru drew in a small, determined
やっ
breath.
てみます。あ
Nice.
りがとう。完成というんじゃなくて、叩き台と思って気楽にやってくれればいいからね。
Okay, if you're sure, give it your best shot. Hotaru nodded. Kage was watching her closely. She really was a lot more proactive these days. I was proud of her. Really is an issue to just want to like pick SMT5 back up and just start grinding again. Maybe I should just get Citra and play SMT4. You know, do the opposite of what I'm doing here. Just fuck Fizz build, all magic. Apparently that's the way to go in SMT4. Just say do the fucking no fusion challenge as well. What happened to all that enthusiasm you mustered up before?
あれは、あの時はやってみようって本当にできるかどうか自信ない。
Okay, sure. Put my arm around Hotaru. It's easy to turn lowest it's easy to run low on Steam now and then. Trust me, I know. Don't get discouraged just because you're not as confident now as you were back then. Get your second wind once you get going, trust me. Just have to take things in your stride.
また。
When you're gliding, you can see a dip in altitude you can use a dip in altitude to re-accelerate. As long as you fly in the end, what matters in between doesn't matter too much. Just give it a try, okay? It's not like the whole club is gonna go under if you don't produce something award-winning. And I'll be here, you know, for moral support.
何？
Hotaru leaned her head against me. She looped her arm through mine. It's kinda hard to walk like
ちょっと
this.
だけ。
I'm sure you'll get used to it. I'm sure I'll get used to it. Awkwardness aside, I'm happy to walk with Hotaru in the end, to the ends of the earth. The next day, she began her work in earnest.
イメージ？はい。どういう風にするのがいいか、意見を先に聞いておこうと思いまして。そうね、それなら、もちろん、空よ！空へ舞い上がるっていうこと、その素晴らしさ、楽しさ、魅力の根源を伝えるの。細かい理屈なんていらないわ。空に恋してもらえるように、飛ぶって素敵、空は最高っていうのを前面に出して。はい。
Considering the kind of school they're on, that might be kind of bad since people will probably come here because they're interested in the mechanics of it, since it's a fucking engineering school.
イメージですか。そうですね。綺麗なのがいいですね。綺麗なの。湖の上を飛んでるのを初めて見たとき、うわー、綺麗って思ったんです。空をスーッと横切るように真っ白いのが、あれがとっても綺麗で。空を横切る。イメージもいいですけど、必要な情報はきちんと入れておいた方がいいと思います。活動場所、活動内容、週末にフライトとか。活動内容。うちの特徴を考えて、グライダー制作もあり。としておくと、アゲハ先輩みたいな人が来てくれるかもしれませんし。工作が得意な人も歓迎と。 私の意見を聞いても仕方ないんじゃないか？でも、全員の意見は聞いておこうと。まあ、そういうことならば、あのグライダーそのものを見せるのがいいんじゃないだろうか。あれは、みんなが自分の手で作り上げた、まさに努力の結晶だ。そこは思いっきり宣伝していいんじゃないかな。私たちが作った翼ですって。なるほど。青兄はどういうのがいいと思う？
Yeah, I've been thinking about how to get new students interested too. The guy is important, but I'd also like to introduce the club's members. Even if I'm the one piloting, I'm never alone in this club. It's the first place I've seen so many people work together, building the glider, making repairs, flight support, everything. So I think everyone should be featured in our video. That includes you too, Hotaru.
作る喜びだね。
Is this Argyle's place? This is a fucking snazzy ass place. You probably would have seen more of this in Argyle's route. Okay, that was fucking odd. Did you see that? Did you you see like the fucking wind turbine there? It was still there despite the it's no longer here now. But earlier, just now, when I was talking about how snazzy the place looked, the wind turbine was still visible. Like, what the fuck was that?
グライダーをありとあらゆるものをだね。グライダーを作るのもそうだし、飛べるようにあちこちに許可もらったり、資格取りに行ったり、そういう活動一つ一つの積み重ねで何かを作り上げていくってのが一番の魅力かな。特にうちはそういうところだし、ロボット部だって毎年そっちでアピールしようとしてるよ。なるほど。ところで、あんたはどうなの？私ってほれ、グライダーで飛んだら彼氏ができましたみたいなのどうせなら入れてみたら？いや、そんなのダメ。あーちゃんの意地悪。はいはい、私が悪かった。で、もうだいたいみんなの意見は聞いたの？あんたの意見ももちろん入れていいんだからね。小鳥があんたに任せたのも、あんたの外からの視線が欲しかったからなんだから。任された以上は好き勝手やっちゃっていいんだからね。まだ時間あるし、まずかったらやり直せばいいだけだから。分かってる。何かあれば相談しなよ。葵でもいいし。
Hotaru seemed really worried. Maybe this was too much pressure to put on her so soon after she just joined. But now that she'd stepped up to the challenge, I hoped she'd see it through to the end. I have to do my part as a boyfriend supporter too. Okay, start my stretching routine. This weekend I'd fly for sure. Gotta show off my good points for my girlfriend now and then. My leg didn't hurt anymore, but I made a point of taking walks around the neighborhood in the mornings to warm up a little. When I got back, she was right there at the dorm entrance. Hey!
Ohayo, Aoni.
Morning, Hotaru. We hugged lightly, then kissed.
Aoni, お散歩?
Yeah, felt like getting some exercise.
足、大丈夫?
Yep, no problems here. Just to prove it, I jumped into the air. This would have been a really bad time with the pain to come back. But I landed just fine and feeling great. Ta-da! Want me to carry you over the threshold? I was kidding.
青兄のエッチ。
Sorry, forgive me?
なでなでしてくれたら 許してあげます。
Oh, it was more of a forgive me. Oh, yeah. You got it. I patted Hotaru's head.
よし、許す。でも、
は
ちょっとくらいなら、私もしてほしいかなって。
Her voice trailed off as her face got more and more red. Wished you could whisker into my arms and carry her into the dorm like the princess she was. That might not be the best idea now, though. Settled for a surprise kiss. Hotaru's face burnt bright red. Her eyes misted over, and for a moment it looked like I might actually have to catch her in my arms. Hey, careful, don't fall. I opted for just holding her up by the shoulders.
うん、
He shook her head as if to clear it, and then gently leaned into my chest.
私、今朝、青兄の夢、見たよ。
Really? What happened?
秘密。
Hotaru stepped away, still trying to hide her blushing, and headed on into the dome.
青兄、着替えてきて。朝ごはんの支度、先に始めてるから。
Thanks, I'll try not to take too long. Just needed to throw on my uniform. Two of us set to work making breakfast. Today's menu was natto with white rice, miso soup, and stir-fried ham and veggies.
あのね、
Yeah?
青兄の夢。
Uh-huh.
私と青兄、二人っきりだったの。二人っきりで、すごくいい雰囲気、幸せで。
It's not like a cringe gunpoint, it's mostly just my fucking eyebrow doesn't want to stop twitching. And I was hoping that would help at least a little. Could have done it with my finger as well, but I had the gun in my hand, so what the fuck am I supposed to do? Put it away first? Yeah, but it was too annoying for that. Maybe did something in that dream that she was too embarrassed to tell me about now.
すごくいいところで、みんな来るの。
Minaga, Kotori, and the others?
みんな、マー君とか、あんちゃんとかも、どんどん来て、ぎゅうぎゅう詰めになって、青兄がどこにいるか、わからなくなっちゃったの。
Is that when he woke up?
うん。
I know a lot about dream interpretation, but take my opinion with a grain of salt. But maybe this is one of those dreams with a contradictory meaning.
逆夢？逆になるってこと？
Exactly. I'll prove it to you all throughout the day. I had a feeling everyone else was starting to wake up, but none of them had come to breakfast yet. Hotaru looked around too, just to make sure. She gently closed her eyes. She turned her face towards me pleadingly. That was our best chance. I leaned forward. Kiss. Touched my lips to Hotaru's. Hotaru shivered like she'd been dealt a 200-volt shock. Oh, the taste of those sweet, voluptuous lips. I put my hands on her cheeks as we kissed again. Slowly I moved my face away. Hotaru was trembling like her bones had been turned into jelly. See, there's no losing me. Wasn't sure if that had been a yes or a no. Want some more proof, maybe?
もう大丈夫。
What the fuck's called playing tropical liquor? The fuck is tropical liquor again? Is that like a fucking fuck? It fixed. That was an accident. Wasn't tropical liquor like some? I know it's gonna sound bad, like Honey Pop clone. It's not like Honey Pop is just bejeweled. I know. Oh yeah, it is. It is actually Sayori's art as well. I mean, I'm looking at the character designs and the fact that the game is like reduced, like off to like 4 euros, and I'm interested, slightly at the very least. You know what? Fuck it. I had fun with Honey Pop. This just looks like more Honey Pop. I'm gonna buy it real quick. Birds for myself. Ah. Watching Hotaru squirm was making my heart race. Wow, she was so cute. Maybe there was time for another kiss. A deeper, more intimate one this time. Looked like Hotaru had picked up on what I was planning. She closed her eyes and waited. Hey, right on time. You and the others all arrived shortly after. Right.
元気いないわね。さて、どうしてでしょうね。
Did you see us?
さあ、どうでしょうね。
How long were you there?
何のことかな。
If you play sports, sometimes you'll come up against someone you instinctively know you have no chance against. It was the same thing with Kanako. I could feel it in my bones. This was not a new revelation or anything. Miguel showed up after breakfast, right as we were getting ready to leave. Like usual, we all headed to school together. Are you okay?
ちょっと。
Hotaru kept almost completely silent until we were a few minutes away from school.
今日、部活、休んでいいかな。
That shouldn't be a problem. Is there somewhere else you need to be?
部室じゃなくて、学校の方の機材使いたくて。
You mean for editing? She was really serious about this. That's totally fine, right, everybody? It's good to see Hotaru raring to go again.
そうみたいね。
Has she told you what she's planning to do?
それが、私にも教えてくれないんだよね。
Guess we'll just have to wait till it's finished. Now that Hotaru was feeling properly motivated, there wasn't much more I could do for her. If I was feeling cocky, I might say I kissed that morning had dispelled her doubts and allowed her to properly focus. Being in a relationship has its advantages. The rest was up to her. That weekend.
そっち、待って。はい。
All together, 1, 2. We all worked together to reassemble the glider from its separate parts. It was finally time for my triumphant return. We've done this so many times before, we had the process down pat by now. Even after all this time, seeing those white wings waiting on the runway still filled me with an indescribable thrill. Skies were clear. It was the perfect day for a flight. Alright, time to get going. Out Kotri into the rear seat.
大丈夫？
Yeah, my leg will be fine. I called Hotaru over and ruffled her hair. You can grab some drinks for me for when we get back. It's a very important job. Counting on you.
はい。
Hotaru gave a firm nod. I climbed into the cockpit and closed the canopy.
はーい、聞こえる？チェック行くよ。
Sure. Man, it's been a while. It felt good to be back in the cockpit. We got through the standard checks and were ready to take off in no time. Figured I should at least wave to Hotaru before setting off. I'll let you go.
集中してよ。
I know I'll be fine.
ホタル、
Huh?
変わります。大きな声で。ランウェイ is clear!
Sure. One countdown later, the winch cord was tightened and the glider moved into action. I don't know why I said tightened like that. I sat back, felt the change in G's, and soon all I could see from the canopy was blue skies. We were in the air. Wow. The sky was always an awe-inspiring sight. Inspiring, not awe-inspiring. This was the greatest. You know that feeling? You know that feeling when you have to like sneeze, but in mid-sneeze you kind of like clamp your mouth shut, so it basically like basically like you basically ends like that, but way worse. I hate that because that fucking hurts, doesn't it? It's hard to replicate, mainly because I don't want to replicate it because it hurts like a bitch. Like it's like you feel it's like a strong sneeze. It's only just like fucking like sandpaper against the back of your throat. Not nice at all. Took full advantage of that flight, doing my best to make up for missing last week. Right now I was the only one in the club with a pilot license. We need some of the other members to qualify before I graduated. Want to share this wonderful experience with Hotaru. If possible, get used to operating the glider too. After flying around a while longer, I came in to land. According to the schedule we'd drawn up, Asa would be riding with me next. Hotaru stood there holding a couple of plastic drinks bottles. Cool, can I get one? She hesitantly handed me some mineral water. I took it, glad to have something to quench my thirst. That's good. Put my free hand around Hotaru's shoulder. See, I'm totally fine. Hotaru's eyes teared up a little, just a little. She looked away for a moment and turned back to face me with a sunny smile. You're welcome. That pain in my knee had actually worked out for the best in the end. If that hadn't happened, Hotaru might never have told me how she felt. Not that I could ever say to her I was grateful I got hurt. This feeling would just have to be my secret. What did you think? Thanks. Right? It's really something, even if you're only watching. It was nice to know we were on the same page. The air currents are all pretty stable today, so it's a great day for flying. We'll see for yourself later. You're a member of this club now. You're just as entitled to a turn as anyone. I'd really like to show you what it's like to fly. Plus, it's your duty as a member of the soaring club. We'd better go through some of the basic controls. Nobody flies alone. Be sure to remember that. It's one of our club's most sacred flaws. Understand? You'll do fine. Soon enough, it was time for me and Hotaru to fly together. Don't worry about it. It's a little rough taking off, but after that, it's smooth sailing. I'd say it's less stressful than a roller coaster. There aren't any wild winds today, so we shouldn't shake around much. You could just sit back and enjoy the ride. Everything looks fine. I don't know why I feel so really stiff today. Okay, ready, Hotaru? Here we go. With that, the two of us launched into the blue, wild blue yonder. You're right back there. Alright, take a look outside. The sun was starting to go down, bathing the sky and the land below in a myriad of colors. Flying at night wasn't a good idea, so this would be our last flight of the day. Pretty cool, huh? Hotaru's face was practically glued to the canopy, her eyes drinking in every last detail of the twilight sky. You can see the ocean from here too. 1 sec, I think I can take a sire. Don't forget to look above us still. That sight left Hotaru speechless. Beside the evening sky was a vast expanse of darkening purple. Stars were starting to appear, looking brighter than they ever did from the ground. These colors we were seeing now were unlike anything on Earth. The weather and the time of day had all come together to create the best possible scenery. On the horizon, the mountains burned crimson. Below us, the lake's surface shimmered in the dying light. Everywhere we looked, the world dazzled us with its beauty. It's only our first time. We're gonna fly together plenty from now on, you know. After I'd said that, I felt my face going red. But look at me. I don't think about how sentimental that was going to sound. And turn around to look, but I could tell Hotaru was laughing and maybe wiping a tear from her eye. Yeah, we'll explore the great vast sky together. Looks great during the day too. You get above the clouds, all I can hear is the wind. It's like you're becoming one with the sky itself. Oh, I'm sorry, don't get it away. That sounded really corny, right? It is, isn't it? We will, count on it. If there had been those seats between us, it would have been the perfect chance to turn around for a kiss. I could hear Hotaru's fiddling around with something in the seat behind me. Do you think you're ready to support me with your controls? No buts about it, I know you can do this. Hotaru stretched out her hands and touched my head. Put my hand over hers and lightly stroked it. We reduced our altitude just fine and came in for a smooth landing. There, back on land. You did a great job.
Hi, おかえり。どうだった、ホタル？すごかった。すごく綺麗で。葵に惚れ直したかな？
Hey, knock that off.
二人っきりをいいことに熱い告白なんかしちゃったり。言わないよ。知ってる？ I love you をね、夏目漱石は月が綺麗ですねって訳すもんだって言ったそうよ。
All I heard was something about Natsume Soseki, and I immediately know what she's trying to say. Why would you even need code words?
それはアメリカンの発想で。
Excuse me, what?
それはアメリカンのそれはアメリカンのそれはアメリカンのそれはアメリカンそれはアメリカンのそれはアメリカンのそれはアメリカンのそれはア アメリカンの発想で、それはアメリカンの発想で。
Sure, whatever you say.
日本人なら2人で共に月を見上げるというそこでもう相手のことが好きって伝わるものだって。好きでもない相手と夜に一緒に散歩なんかするわけないし、夜の散歩に誘う、 OK する、一緒に歩く、共に月を見上げる、そこで月が綺麗ですねってことなのよ。
You see, this, I guess the best way to like put this into perspective, I feel, is this translation is like the halfway point between proper localization and Apollo, shut up and eat your hamburger. For those who don't know what I mean by that, it's a joke about how in the first Phoenix Wright game, Ace Attorney, they decided to make all references to Japanese culture and change it because it was just like stuff like, oh hey, let's eat sushi and stuff like, or the name of the city, because there wasn't really too much like more cultural stuff involved. So they would just put it in fucking San Francisco or whatever it fucking was. And made all the mentions of like ramen into burgers, which is why Maya is so crazy about burgers. It's just ramen in the actual official like in the actual official work. But they immediately proceeded to regret that when the next game, like they pulled up like a whole fucking village of like spirit mediums. And suddenly it got a lot harder to like make that seem genuine when his hometown is like a fucking bus drive away from a village of spirit mediums that quite clearly are very heavily like Japanese influenced. Leading to a certain picture to start going around. Hold on. Hold on, let me just look at it real quick. Ah, here it is. Hold on, let me just... Let me just grab that real quick. Open image in new tab. As for the source of this little webcomic, it's by a dude called Awkward Zombie, apparently. And I just feel the need to show this real quick. For people who haven't seen it. I know people have most likely already seen it. But, shut up. I'll just... transform... fit screen. There we go. Like, Los Angeles. Truly the greatest city in these United States of America. I, for one, am proud to live in a country with as rich a history and culture as ours. Something about this seems off. Don't be ridiculous, Apollo. Now, come, let us all enjoy a traditional American meal around the traditional American kotatsu. Eat your hamburgers, Apollo. Yeah, there's the source, awkwardzombie.com. And I just love it. And this is like a middle point between that and like a proper translation, I feel. Oh, sounds impressive. Even if you're wrong.
西新、これから何度も一緒に飛ぶだって？空、 すごく綺麗。
Cut it out! How do you know all that? Our mics weren't even connected when we said all that. Had I been bugging the glider?
私の耳は地獄耳。
There's no way you could have heard that on your own. What's going on here?
それ言っちゃったらおしまいよ。さあ、この謎が解けるかな。姫木アゲハからの挑戦状。
Hotaru, go look in the glider! And don't let Agea touch it! I guess getting messed with like this was the price we paid for Agea's technical skills. Gliding was never 100% safe, so it was great having someone on the ground who'd know what to do if things went south. But, find out how you did this for sure. Hotaru and I went over the glider from nose to tail, inside and out. There's nothing here. That's so
今度
frustrating.
あーちゃんの秘密を言いまくろう。
Yeah, that'll teach her. She's not gonna tell us how she did this on her own anytime soon. We're gonna need time to lick our wounds on this one.
そのひとまず作ってみましたので。ははパチパチパチ。
Hotaru had finished the video and posted a poster advertising the club to new students. The whole club had gathered together today to take a look at him.
どういう感じ？
Hotaru tried to get some info out of me while Hotaru was setting up. She didn't tell me. It'll be my first time seeing it too.
同じく。
I'm looking forward to it.
さてどこから突っ込んでやろうかな。
Go easy on her, okay? As it's good she has you there at home to help her if she decides it needs fixing. If we decide it needs
しまった、仕事
fixing.
増やされた。
I have a little more faith in your sister. I was pretty confident the continent wasn't going to be a problem. The fact that this was a labor of love on Hotaru's part was enough for me.
では。
The whole room held its breath for them at the moment of the grand unveiling. We're surrounded in silence.
ゆるちゃん。下級生ですので、先輩のなさることに何か言うのは遠慮させていただきます。
Hotaru couldn't keep still. She was so nervous. How should I put this?
詰め込みすぎでごちゃごちゃしてるな。
Ah!
週末だし。
That didn't really answer the question.
姫木妹。これはちょっといろいろ詰め込みすぎだと思う。
Did you forget Hotaru's name?
そうだね。確かに、グライダーのことも活動内容も日時も全部入ってるけどさ。情報量多すぎて、パッと見た人は面白そうよりも面倒そうって思っちゃうよ、これじゃ。はい。いけないってことじゃないのよ。みんなの意見聞いたのよね。それぞれ違う意見や希望をできるだけ盛り込もうとしてくれたのはわかるわ。はい。だけど、出せる情報量は限られているから、もっと整理しちゃっていいと思う。私の意見でも葵くんの意見でも気にしないでザクザク捨てちゃって構わないのよ。はい。まあ時間はたっぷりあるし、いろいろやってみな。どうしても決められなかったらアドバイスあげるし。
The meeting broke up with everyone still feeling a little awkward. When I went home, asked that the Kazato sisters had left me, Hotaru, Kotri, and Agea to head back to the dorm. You girls planning to stay for dinner?
どうするホタル。ほらほら、暗い顔しない。気にしない。
He's right. It's not like this was a contest you've been disqualified from. You can just try again if you want. You can look up what you made already and talk about how to improve it. We can look at what you made already and talk about how to improve it. Isn't that a good thing? Hotaru's expression remained dejected.
ごめん。今日は帰るわ。うん。
Hey, Hotaru. Tried to cheer her up with a goodbye head pat. Yes, to say I didn't do much to lift her mood. Didn't even get a fake smile out of her. She must be really disappointed. Aga and Kotori both stared daggers at me. I guess I shouldn't have expected to be able to cheer Hotaru up so easily. What was I doing? I could make an effort at a time like this. What kind of boyfriend was I? Went back to my room, changed into some more comfy clothes, and after enough time had passed, called Hotaru. Or rather, I picked up my cell phone, but before I could call... the phone started to ring. Hotaru had called me first.
Aoni.
Oh, hi. I was just about to call you.
Aoni. 後で行っていい?
You want to come over here? Sure. Just give me some time. I'll come get you. There was only so much we could say on the phone. Talking in person was a better idea. After dinner, I tidied up a little and left. Rode my bike along the nighttime streets. The wind was nice and cool. Summer would soon be giving way to fall. Called Hotaru again, and a few minutes later, she emerged from the front of her house.
自転車いい?
Sure. Hotaru's bike was a cute little thing. She rode it a lot, and it really suited her. Without further ado, we rode off into the night together. It was kind of nice. Slowed down a little to match my pace with Hotaru's. Where to?
広いとこ.
We left the lights of the town behind and cycled towards the lake. Talking is hard.
中入っていい?
Sure. I opened up the door to the hangar. I always carried the key with me just in case. Tired? Come here. Hotaru slumped into my waiting arms. She felt really hot. Guess we both worked up quite a sweat getting here.
Aoni, あったかい.
Might have been better to come here at a colder time of year. She nuzzled her face into my
チュー
chest.
していい?
Of course. Felt the warm sensation on my cheek a moment later.
チュ。
That's better. Put an arm around Hotaru and gently stroked her back. She was smiling ear to ear now. Wished she could always be that happy. We stayed that way for a while, wrapped in each other's body, taking time for an occasional kiss. One lie, part of me wished we could go even further, but I had more important things to do at the time. Hey, Hotaru? She could tell where this was going from the tone of my voice.
あのね.
I was really surprised everyone didn't like your stuff more. That's not what you wanted me to say, right?
わかる?
I understand you better than you think.
ありがとう.
Another nuzzle for good measure. Hotaru's skin was so soft.
そうなの. 評判悪いのはいいの. 授業でも私が作ったものだいたいああいう顔されるし.
Well, I'm sure that's
お
not...
姉さんに似て器用だなってことは何度もいろんな先生に言われた.
Agia does have a lot going for her. Complimenting other girls at a time like this might be something of a faux pas, but Agia was a special exception.
でもあーちゃんを褒める先生が私のは褒めなくていつも言うのが
I didn't say anything, just continued to hold Hotaru and wait for her to finish it on her own time.
欲張りすぎるって
Greedy, you.
欲張りあれもこれもって入れようとしすぎるんだって。そのことあーちゃんに言ったらさすが私の妹って笑ってたけど私も手に入るものは全部手に入れたいからねって。
That sounds like her, alright. I think it's the same thing, though.
違う。 決められないの。A と B とがあったら、ここは A にする、B で行くって決めることができないの。もちろん A の方がいいって言うならそっちに決めるよ。でもどっちも同じくらい良かったら。
So you end up trying to use both, right?
うん、いいとこ取りじゃないの。どっちもよくって決められないの。
I always knew that about you. Gently ruffled Hotaru's hair. Aya and I were partly to blame for Hotaru's indecisive streak. We'd always been the ones to decide where to go and what to play. Whether it was swimming at the lake or hiding away in our secret base, we made the decisions and Hotaru just went along with it. When it came to food, too, we'd buy whatever we wanted and share it with her. Toys, games, cards, the list went on. Never included Hotaru. We never excluded Hotaru, but we were always the ones in control. When we got a little older, we started splitting the girls and boys groups. But even then, she let Agaya take the lead. But I know you've been trying to change that about yourself too.
うん、頑張ってみた。前に出て自分から言い出して決めるの。
Proud of you. I'd like to caress her cheek to emphasize that sentiment. Hotaru smiled, bringing her hand up to meet mine.
青兄のおかげで心から頑張ってみようって思えて、できるだけ頑張って。変わってきた、変われる、どんどん青兄が好きな女の子になれてる、そう思ってた。でもあれ作ってみてやっぱりだったの。やっぱり私のダメなとこ出ちゃってた。みんなの言うことどれも大事で入れたくて変われてなかった。
Hotaru clung tight to me as her eyes began to fill with tears. I had to get serious about comforting her this time. I tenderly stroked her back and patted her head until she calmed down.
決めるときは決めなきゃって思ってたのに怖かったの。どっちか選ぶの、どっちか選ばないの、どうしてもできなくて。
Yeah. Stroked Hotaru's back in silence this time. It was better to not break her flow until she'd said everything she wanted to say. Hotaru didn't speak for a while, but I think she was glad just to have me there.
青兄は迷わないの？
To be honest, making decisions has never really been a problem for me. With both cycling and gliding, you can't afford to hesitate over things for very
決
long.
めるとき怖くない？
Well, yeah, of course it is. But not making a choice, giving up my control of the situation, that's even scarier. Whatever the outcome, I want to know I did everything I could. That's why I know my successes and failures are my own, not no one else's. That way, no one can take them away from me. It's easy to put the blame on your opponents, your equipment, the weather, stuff like that. But I think you lose something important by shifting the responsibility onto others like that. Making and learning from your own mistakes is a good way to grow, both in body and mind. That's why I try to live my life. That's the way I try to live my life anyway. Helps me get through the day. That way I feel like I'm getting closer to being the person I want to be.
青兄は強いね。
Well, so are you. I've seen your strength for myself.
そうなのかな。
Yeah, you've managed to stay positive and keep up your efforts to change all this time. It's fine to feel disappointed, but I think it's important to not give up and try to keep trying to change with whatever you can. And I believe you're capable of doing that. So you don't have to worry, okay? Hotaru nodded firmly. A smile finally broke through her gloom, but it was buried a moment later by a heavy sigh.
私変わりたかった。変わりたかったのに。青兄に好きになってもらえるようしっかりしたいのに。
I like you plenty the way you are now.
もっともっと好きになってほしいの。私が好きなのと同じくらい青兄に私を好きになってほしいの。
I know, I really do like you a lot.
青兄は知らない。私がどのくらい青兄を好きなのか。
Crazy huge,
す
huh?
ごいから。
Oh, that great?
すごいの。
I'm pretty sure I love you more than anyone in the world.
その何倍も私の方が好きです。
Stop this right now, please. You're making me die. Fucking second-hand embarrassment. Actually, first-hand embarrassment because of the memories. But still, you get what I mean. I can't believe that shit. Really?
そう。
I don't know if I can really if you can really measure stuff like that.
青兄は一人で私の気持ちも一つだから選ばなくていいもん。でも選ばなくちゃならなくなったら
What if there were two of
ダ
me?
メ。
You wouldn't be able to choose?
二人同時はダメ。
Couldn't you just go out with both of us?
一人しかキスできないから。
Wasn't sure where that gulp came from. Came out before I even fully got what she was saying. I was probably nervous. The memory of that night when Hotaru and I first got together, the heat, the passion, all came flowing back. The two of us were alone here. I'd wanted to go someplace where we couldn't be interrupted for such a long time now. Hotaru had that look on her face again. The look that said she wanted to share new experiences. Maybe even more than I did.
青兄。
Hotaru. We both reached out our hands. They came to rest on the backs of each other's necks. This kiss wasn't like our last one. It was raw, yearning, full of love and passion. Any sense of time drifted away as we fell to exploring one another's lips. Eventually, we both had to come up for air. Hotaru could barely keep her eyes open. Her expression was indescribable. You are so pretty. It wasn't much, but it was from the heart. It was true. Her skin was flushed and her shoulders were trembling with excitement. I took that gorgeous body of hers in my arms and held her tight. The heat between us was intensifying. Our eyes met. Hotaru's cheery eyes completely filled my vision. She looked back at me. Only at me. My eyes only. All my attention was focused on her. She struggled to catch her breath. She gripped my hand in hers. Our fingers intertwined. Warm, comforting feelings spread throughout my mind. This was that same sensation as when we held hands during the day. That feeling that we were both exactly where we needed to be. But this feeling was just so much stronger. My thoughts, my conscious mind, were being crushed by the simple pleasure.
青兄。頭の中全部青兄だよ。
Hotaru felt the same way, and she looked so happy. Keeping my hand right where it was, I moved close for another kiss. When her lips came away, our breathing was even heavier, our vision blurry. Hotaru.
青兄幸せ好き。
Me too. I can barely think. I'm so happy. Listen, we all know that they're gonna fuck. Hotaru gave me a pleading look and wrapped her arms around me.
して。
Right. Got in closer for a powerful embrace. We held each other in silence for a while. Is that okay? We didn't get carried away or squeezed too hard or
平
anything?
気。青兄優しかったから。
Gentle, huh? Never really thought about myself that way.
私を思ってくれているのすごく伝わってきた。
Tears were welling up in the corners of Hotaru's eyes.
嬉しい。ありがとう。
Right. I gulped down our breath, feeling that wonderful sensation surging up inside me again. I really loved this
も
girl.
う大丈夫。
Hotaru lightly pushed me
ここは
away.
大事な人がいつでもしっかり支えてくれるから。だからもう大丈夫。
Huh. Put my arm around her. I'll always be here for you, Hotaru.
でも支えられずに済むように頑張る。
I could get lonely, you know.
支え合うのが人という字。
Hotaru splayed her fingers on each hand and laced them together. Guess she was trying to symbolize how people support each
私
other.
も青兄を支える。支えられるようになる。それで本当のパートナーになれると思うの。
Sure, that sounds good. I'll give it your best shot.
頑張る。
Throw our arms around each other for another hug. A few days had passed since then.
おーすー。おはよ
Yeah.
う。今日も来てないの？
Yeah, she went on ahead already.
あんたら大丈夫なの？
There's no need to worry. Got my jobs to do, and I don't want them to get in the way of her fun.
気持ちはわかるけど、本当にいいわけ？
Sure.
なんだろうね、この余裕しゃくしゃくっぷりは。ホタルもだけどさ、この間からずっと二人揃って悟りでも開いたみたいになっちゃって。
We have reached complete zen.
あんたたちどういう話したわけ？
You know, just stuff.
いくら聞いても言わないのよね。
Well, come on, we're gonna be late. We ran into Hotaru on our way to
お
school.
はよ
Morning!
う。あれ、偶然？
It was just a coincidence, but the same thing had happened yesterday.
さて、
We hadn't texted each other to fix on a place or anything. We just had a feeling we'd meet her here. Probably the same thing happened with her. Our eyes met and we smiled. That afternoon,
では改めて作り直したものを見てください。
Hotaru stood evidently before the entire soaring club. Confidently, not evidently. Even Amane was
これ
here.
は
Was there.
本当にアゲハの妹か？私もちょっと自信ない。
They were whispering, but I still heard. It made me laugh. People do change. We all have that potential. Just like a single bud can bloom into a flower in one day, sometimes that change is sudden. I was so glad I'd been able to see it happen firsthand.
これです。
The emotional material Hotaru showed us was completely different from her previous attempts. Why is this so loud?! It felt a lot more streamlined with it felt a lot more streamlined with enough information, but not too much. Using a stunning air current, you can go up, high to the clear blue sky. And I was confident, and it would make a lasting impression on whoever saw it. The Soaring Club, we fly free using a glider we have built ourselves. We're flying on our very own wings. Used a lot of vivid being able to fly with the help of your friends. It's a feeling that you will never forget. Oh, Hotaru-Route ended at last CG base game. She used a lot of vivid colors. Now it's time for you to spread your wings into the sky and take off. She'd used a lot of vivid colors, especially blue and white.
いや、いいじゃないか。参った。文句なしね。ありがとうございます。
Nice going. So, is it alright with everyone if we use this as is? There were no
よ
objections.
かったね、ホタル。ほんと変わったね。別人が作ったみたい。青兄のおかげ。選び方教えてもらった。葵、 ありがとね。
Hotaru did all the hard work herself. I just gave her some pointers here and there.
ごけんさん。
Aga gave me a hearty slap on the back. I could tell she was proud of the way her sister had grown these past few weeks. Of course, I felt the same. But more importantly, Hotaru was the most pleased out of all of us. Ah! After a while, the meeting broke up and we all headed home. Hotaru and I walked side by side. We weren't holding hands today. We just had our index fingers twined together. Things really turned out great. I guess the next step for you is the more flying experience. Plus, we've still got plenty of time until next spring. Think you can handle knocking up a couple of totally new designs during that time? Hotaru's hesitant tone worried me a little. She didn't say anything more on the matter. Eventually, we arrived in front of her house.
それじゃあまた。
Sure. Looked around to make sure no one was watching and gave her a kiss on the cheek.
また明日。
Yeah, until tomorrow. We both smiled at each other. This exchange held more meaning for us than words could ever could. And I felt like I knew what was going to happen next. That weekend, it was another perfectly clear day.
頼む。
Leave it to me. Amane had come on a flight, curious about what the new wind turbines looked like from the air. After that, we took flights in the usual order. Kotri, Agea, the Kazatos. Hotaru stood a little distance away, watching it all with a smile. It wasn't that she wanted to fly, but was too shy to say. It wasn't that she wanted to fly, but was too shy to say so. Actually, she'd been learning about all the support procedures on the ground we usually left to Agea. From her subtlest movement on the to the sparkle in her eyes, this was a brand new Hotaru we were seeing. She joined me for the last flight of the day. We had a by-the-book takeoff and shot into the sky just as it was starting to change color.
きれい。
Sure is. No matter how many times I flew, I knew I'd never got bored of the sky. Wanted to take on even higher, more challenging flights from now on.
それでね、青に。
Just a sec. Hey Agea, I know the comms are off, but if you're still listening somehow, cut that too!
ああ、それはもう大丈夫。
Huh?
盗聴器じゃなく、無線機そのものに仕掛けがしてあった。スイッチの配線をいじって、切ってもランプがオフになるだけで、実際にはオフにならないようにしてあったの。
Damn, that's clever. Well done figuring it
母
out.
ちゃんが飛んでる時に受信機調べたの。
While Hotaru wasn't looking, I blinked a couple of times. I was feeling a mix of pride and surprise. I didn't know she had it in her.
それでね、大事な話。この間からずっと考えていたこと。
Quitting the sewing club, right? I had a feeling something like this might be coming. Looks like I've been right on the
や
mark.
めるんじゃなくて、幽霊部員にさせてもらえるかなって。部員の数は多い方がいいもんね。
That's true enough. Tobioka's face drifted into my mind. So, what does a ghost member do exactly? I didn't have to ask why she wanted to stop. Ever found something you really wanted to do instead? Couldn't see her nod, but I could tell she was. The ending. The next day, Hotaru called me to come meet her on the promenade. We stood facing each other. There was a cool breeze. On days like this, I could really feel the approach of fall in the
青
air.
にも空もグライダーもソアリング部もみんなも。でもそれはそれで、それとは別に私自身でしたいことあるの。
I'm glad you found some.
うん。でも本当は前からあった。 自分に正直になることにしたの。そしてずうずうしくなることにした。今度は切り捨てない。両方とももらう。
Cool, that's great. So what is it you want to do?
これ
What to the point to the trusty bicycle she'd ridden here on bikes? You want to get into competitive cycling?
違う。サイクリング部に入るの。昨日会った人同士で湖とか海とか他の町とかあちこちのんびり走り回るの。
Oh, cool. So what made you want to join them now?
昔から自転車で走るの好きだったの。青兄が乗ってるの見てかっこいいなって思って乗れるように頑張って。青兄みたいにひたすら速く他の人と争ってっていうのは無理だけど、
Just
自
hobby
転車で
cycling.
走ることは大好きで。
That's something we used to that's something I really used to like as a kid. Occasionally when we would be visiting my grandpa, like we would all just we basically all had bikes at his place as well. So we'd just all get on the bikes and just go on a little bit of a biking tour. And I really loved that as a kid. But then I didn't anymore because I got lazy.
自分の足であちこち行けるのもいいなって。青兄に悪いかなって言い出せなかった。
Also, something funny that happened once is our house is right next to what would I call it? Hold on. Right next to a track, usually for a farm track, and some some fields, and because I don't remember why, but basically my mother had told us that we were not allowed to go too far into that farm track, down that farm track, only a little bit. Actually, I think she straight up just told her we're not allowed to go there. As in, she used the word walk, basically. The German word walk. So, I got on my bicycle and rode there. Because that's not bad, because she only said I wasn't allowed to walk over there. She never mentioned anything about riding there. And that's the excuse I used. And my mother could just if I remember, I don't remember quite correctly anymore, but she was basically so fucking stunned into silence that she just couldn't even be mad anymore. She just just come back, just come back, don't do that. It was great. You don't need to do that. Give her a light thumb.
Hi.
But thanks anyway. I know that shows you cared about me to the point of holding back like that. I'm happy you feel confident enough to do what you want to do now, though.
ありがとう。私もこれで本当に堂々と青兄のこと彼氏だってみんなに言える。今度サイクリング部のみんなに紹介するね。できればたまに一緒に来てくれると嬉しいな。
Sure. It's the same deal as you still showing up to flight now and then as a ghost member, right? Hotaru nodded confidently. Seeing her like this was just dazzling. The old Hotaru, the shy little girl who I thought of as a sister, was gone. She'd grown into a fine young woman who I considered my total equal. She wouldn't be trailing along hiding behind me anymore. From now on, we'd walk side by
戻って
side.
きた時あーちゃんのこと最初わからなかったんだって聞いたよ。その時あーちゃん自慢したんだってね。どうだいい女になっただろうって。
Sounds familiar, yeah.
だから私も自慢する。どうだいい女だろう。惚れ直したか青兄。
It was sounding real sophisticated until you added that honey bun part. A for effort, though.
あれ
Okay, so, it's okay if I try something new too. Turn to face Hotaru again, straightened up into a more formal pose. Miss Hotaru Himeki, will you go out with me? I would want to build a whole new relationship with you. Hotaru looked like she was about to reply, but held back for a
水瀬
moment.
葵先輩あれを
Hotaru made a sweeping gesture across the horizon, taking in the evening sky, the lake, and even calmly spinning windmills.
風車がとても綺麗ですね夜お散歩に行きましょう
Her face broke into a smile. I couldn't keep up with all this formality. Threw my arms around Hotaru and pulled her in close. She allowed me to take her weight, put her hand on mine. The glimmering waters of the lake behind us, we both leaned in for a sweet kiss. Finn. So it was very nice. Very, very nice. Anyways, what the fuck am I supposed to do next time? Like, we only got like 3 left. You know what? I feel like the Kazuto Sisters one could be kind of short, so I feel like I could do it all tomorrow. If I went complete crackhead and recorded until like 4 a.m. again. Anyways, so yeah, that was Hotaru's route. I hope you guys enjoyed this one and see you next time. Bye-bye.